On last week, the commissioner, which is as good a booking as he could possibly get, and Cousins on this week. Is that the hot spot for everybody around the league right now?
Peter, you said it. You said it. And this is the season finale.
And now you can quote him on your next promo.
That's exactly right.
Did we get that clean?
Like what we did to Jimmy Trina.
Good.
Yeah.
Give him the Jimmy Trina.
Hey, one more time. Just
don't say with a question mark. Just exclamation point.
The Kyle Brandt football experience, it is the hot spot for all of the best guests in the NFL.
NFL insider Peter Strader.
Yeah.
Love that. Time, Nate. Let's hit the lead block.
Ready, let's do it. Lead block!
Okay, let's go. Seahawks have a chance to lock up the 5 spot in the NFC with a win against the Cardinals on Sunday. Where will their focus be heading into this crucial matchup? Our very own, what up, MJ Acosta? She's got answers.
Thanks, Kay. The focus for the Seahawks is simple, not letting up. Head coach Pete Carroll says anytime you back off, you run the risk of not being able to get back on. He says it's all about consistency. So as far as coach is concerned, don't expect them to give away any reps or plays just because it's late in the year. Russell Wilson now explains why it's so important to protect the ball, their philosophy all year long, and what it means as they approach the postseason.
I do know that we're doing a really good job of protecting the football and also making a lot of plays while doing that. Guys are making touchdown catches all over the field. Guys are running the ball really well as well. I think, to play winning football, you got to be able to execute with a football. It's all about the ball, as Coach says. Every day it matters. We focus on that every day.
With the run game so strong and Chris Carson dominating on the ground, Russell Wilson's also taking care of the ball in the air. Tyler Lockett, one of his favorite targets this season. He leads the team in receiving as well as racking up 9 touchdowns so far this year. Kay, I'll send it back to you.
Offense coming into form. Amazing report there from MJ, getting us up to speed. The Seahawks, we're not talking about them enough, you guys. They're already in the postseason, but a win against the Cardinals Sunday would assure them of the number 5 spot and a date with the Cowboys. Kind of a similar style there in the wild card round. So looking at the NFC field and let's just take the Saints off the table here, right? They're close, they're good. Which of these remaining 6 teams that you see there is the most dangerous right now, Nate?
The most dangerous? I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks. And I know when I usually talk about the Seattle Seahawks, I end it by talking about Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson is the man. He played well in December, and then when he gets in the postseason, he's just as scary as anybody else. We did VIP earlier in the show, and we talked about the club and different guys going into the club. Russell Wilson has been in the club. Yeah. And when he's in the club, he's one of the coolest guys. He doesn't need to do much. He doesn't need to say much, but he shows up. Everybody wants to be around him. You know what's different about him coming to the playoff club this time? Is that he pulls up in a different car. First time he pulled up, it was a Prius. This time he's pulling up in a Porsche. He got the fancy one. Yeah. He might even have a Bentley. You know why? Because all of a sudden he has a running game. It's something he hasn't had in a while. He's been in the club before. He didn't have a running game. He got the #1 ranked run offense.
And that's what clubs are for, running game, right?
Running.
Come on now, right?
Listen,
it's been a while, but
he also has a number 11th ranked defense. So this cool guy who's been in the club before now pulls up with a better car, a better outfit, fresher than ever. You gotta imagine a guy that has been to Super Bowl, won it, been to a back-to-back Super Bowl, lost it, is going into the playoffs with a running game that was better than it was when he had Marshawn Lynch.
Let me ask you, they go into Dallas in the wild card round. Cowboys are home. Zeke's having a rushing title. Who would be favored in your head? Who do you think is the team that would be expected to win? The Seahawks with all their experience with Wagner and Wilson and Pete Carroll, or this Cowboys team that's young and fresh and maybe hasn't seen the bright lights in their own building?
I'm torn between a rock and a hard place. I would say these teams are evenly matched. I love Dallas. They're anchored by one of the best play callers in Scott Linehan, who I played for. So I'm a little bit biased there. But I would give the edge to Russell Wilson and the Seahawks.
On the road.
And that's just me keeping it all the way real. And that's because I trust Russell Wilson in the playoffs that much more than Dak Prescott. And you guys know how much I love Dak.
Fair.
Well, that's it. What do you think, Strags?
That's it. Look, you go about all these teams. Who's the most dangerous team? There's one team I wouldn't want to see in the final field of 6. Philadelphia Eagles, to me,
talk about it.
Scariest team in football right now. You look at what we're talking about. It's intangible stuff. It's not stats. It's not ranks. It's just what the vibe is, what the momentum is. And I look at the Eagles right now, and they are straight rolling. The last 2 wins were true statement games to the rest of the league. This was early in the season we see Nick Foles, and you know what? It wasn't great. The Buccaneers beat them, and you think, well, that's the team. No. It's a completely different squad. This is the team I'm talking about. It's the Eagles team that went into LA on a Sunday night, and everyone thought they were going to get the the door's beaten off them. No, they won. And then last week, Houston Texans have a lot to play for. We're talking a possible bye week in the first round and then a home playoff second round. Nope, the Eagles, they found a way. There is no team in the NFC that I would want to see less than the Philadelphia Eagles right now. Nick Foles is playing with some magic. I've had people on Twitter say, yeah, that's called God. That's called faith. Like, there's a lot of things going on. There's a certain juju going on with the Eagles. And as great as the Seahawks are and as great as the Bears defense is and the Vikings have this well-rounded team, it's something that I can't put my finger on, and it's something that involves experience, and it also it talks about momentum. All this stuff is real in football. They believe, and I would not want to face.
Just point that finger upwards, Shags.
That's it.
If this week, instead of the playoffs, we had a rematch of last year's Super Bowl, Eagles-Patriots, who would you give the edge to?
Eagles. I would take the Eagles over every single team in the league after what I've seen the last 2 weeks, except for the Saints in New Orleans. That might be the only kryptonite to this Eagles team
a strong
right now.
statement.
And you know what? They might not even get in.
Yeah.
There's still a very good chance they don't get in.
Yeah.
But if they do, they're the most dangerous team.
I think the only difference is, last year the Foles playoff run is home.
You're right.
And the only thing that's not scary with them is they have to go on the road, and that brings me to, I think, the scariest team is the Chicago Bears. They're playing a home playoff game in Chicago in January, and we know the defense, and we know Mac, and we know all those monsters they have. I am also very fascinated to see how Matt Nagy handles this playoff run, because he's a wild card. I really think there's been some moments this year that have been good moments for him and not great moments for him, after which he's always said, I'm going to be me. I'm not going to renege on my decision. I don't regret it. I will do it again. Interesting coming playoff time when there's only a handful of teams there and a decision to go on 4th and 3 or to fake this. I think he will do it. I know this. If they lose, they're not going to lose because they played conservative with Trubisky. They're not going to.
They'll go down swinging.
They're going to. If they lose, it's because they say we left it all on the field, and which makes it dramatic. Like, I don't think they're going to say, let's protect Mitch and win this game 16-13. No. Matt Nagy will leave it all on the field. That has been his attitude from day one.
Let me ask you this. You were around this team. You called the 4th preseason game. We were in Chicago at the Gala. We talked to Pace. We talked to Nagy. Are you impressed by Nagy's offense this year?
Yeah, because I think he's taken Tariq Cohen, who was this great story and a great and he's made them one of the most dynamic players in the league. He really has. And there's new pieces, and Robinson's been a thing, and obviously Trey Burton, Gabriel, all those. If you watch the game, Taylor Gabriel's involved in like every single play. They've really
that offense lost their quarterback for several games, and they also lost their best leader in the locker room, in Kyle Long.
But I also feel like, it's a great point regarding Long, but I still feel like there's that moment still, that like the big-time Bears offensive moment where all those guys and Roquan and Khalil are all on the sideline watching it, and the Bears offense wins them a game. There's something special with them for sure, with the Bears. However, I'd be remiss if I did not double back to what Peter was saying, and even Nate even physically acted out the point up there. There's so much great character action going on with these Eagles, especially with their quarterback. And earlier in the show, I think Burleson really nailed it, Mean Gene Okerlund Empire style.
You don't know by now I'm the man in this town, and there's no way you hold these underdogs down. And when I'm in, it's magical. So call me Big Trick Nick, a.k.a. Nick Flair. Woo!
Nate got me fired up, though. And now I'm thinking it could also be Ravishing Nick Rude. Hey, all you fat NFC jabronis, let me take off my robe so your ladies can see what a real quarterback looks like. Woo!
Save it.
So we got Nick Flair, Ravishing Nick Rude, and we also like the Eagles locker room. We have a Nick Foles shrine here, and I think we should add to it. Nate, would you like to take a walk with me over to the shrine?
Yes.
What do you guys got?
And there's a layer of decorum in this shrine.
This is when we bring down the mood.
Yes. No cell phones allowed. Do not bring your cell phone in the shrine. So come on over here. Nate, you have